Students, welcome back. Today we're going to begin talking about argumentative writing. And so in front of you, you should have a fillable notes page. Those of you on Schoology, you're going to need to print that out. It should be posted to your Schoology page, but you are going to need to print those notes, and we are going to fill in those blanks. The words that you are going to fill in are on red on my screen. So I'll give you a moment just to make sure you have sharpened pencil and that you're ready to go. All right, so the top of your first page should say argument. Now the one that says argument, our first blank that we're gonna fill in is a word that we are defining, and we are defining argumentative writing. Argumentative, spelling is on the screen, argumentative writing. And this is when the writer presents a claim on a controversial issue and uses evidence to support it. So the writer makes a claim or a statement on a controversial issue, and then the writer uses evidence to support it. So they make a claim, they take a stand, they're making a point that one side is better than another. Our next word that we're going to fill in, again, is a word that we are defining, and we are going to define the word issue. Issue. An issue is a topic from society that people have different opinions about. Our next blank is for the word claim. Claim. This is an individual's conclusion about a text, topic, event, or idea. It's your stand that you are taking on that subject matter. Our next blank, again, is the word argumentative. Why is argumentative writing important? So learning how to write an effective argument is key to learning critical thinking skills and is an important part of school and real life writing. Our next blank is for the word audience. It all starts by knowing your audience. Who will be affected by the argument issue? Who will read the essay? Who is it that you are writing to? Then our next word is argument. An argument is when you clearly state a claim in the thesis statement and support it using solid reasons and evidence. And then our next word is persuasive. How does it differ from persuasive writing? Persuasive writing also involves making a claim. However, the supporting details are based on feelings and emotions. Evidence. Evidence is logic, data, and facts that support the thesis. Evidence, they're supporting your thesis. They're supporting your thought on why you feel that you are correct. And then your bridge also can be called a warrant. This one's a little bit harder to understand sometimes. This is a statement that explains how the evidence supports and connects the evidence to the claim. So the bridge supports and connects the evidence to the claim. Our next word is counter-argument or counterclaim. This challenges the argument by addressing the position of someone who may not agree with it. So you challenge the argument. Next word is turn back or rebuttal. This demonstrates why the counter argument is wrong. Now, you're going to do this in a respectful, polite way. You're not going to tell them they're wrong because they're just wrong and that's not the way people think. No, you're going to do this respectfully and politely. All right, next page. An argument essay or argumentative essay is usually about 5 paragraphs. You have your introduction, at least 3 body paragraphs, and then a conclusion. And in writing the introductory paragraph, the first blank we're going to fill in is lead. Lead. The lead hooks readers and encourages them to keep on reading. It loosely introduces the issue, but doesn't specifically mention the claim. And we did this a little bit with our last piece of writing. We found something that got your reader wanting to read more. And you can do this in one of about 6 different ways. And so when you're using a lead or a hook, you can choose to use a quote. We're going to go straight down that left-hand side first. You can choose to use a quote. This is a quote from a famous person or an expert. This is not a quote from Uncle Billy or Grandma. This is not a quote from the bus driver or the person who took your order at McDonald's. This is a quote by a famous person. And so they give us an example. President Obama once said, "During the summer, students are losing a lot of what they learn. A longer school year makes sense." Whether you agree or disagree with that quote, it is a quote and it is said by President Barack Obama. And so we're going to give the person who spoke the quote or wrote the quote, we're going to give them credit. So here they state that President Obama once said. You can do this in many different ways. This is just one way to do it. So your quote needs to be a famous person, not Jim Bob or Uncle Frank or Aunt Susie Q, a famous person. You can do this with a strong statement. So strong statement is your next blank. Children spend a majority of their time playing video games and sports. However, they should spend a majority of their time reading and writing. Again, whether you agree with it or not, this is considered a strong statement that could grab a reader's attention and start a paper. So the whole idea between your lead or your hook is to get the reader's attention. Our next box is question. You can do this by asking a question. Are most Americans satisfied that compared to their peers in Europe and Asia, American students score lower on achievement tests? A question that grabs your reader's attention and makes them want to keep reading more. Our next blank, we're going to go straight down that right side now, is unusual detail. According to historians, American farm children once attended school from December to March and mid-May to August. So an unusual detail, and it's an unusual detail, it's a fact, and that is based on when crops would grow, because it mentions farm children. Our next blank is going to be statistic. You can list a surprise or state a surprising statistic, or fact. Experts say that during the summer, students lose approximately 22% of what they learned during the school year. This would be a statistic, also a fact. And then our last blank in this little chart is anecdote. An anecdote, this is a brief story. And by brief story, it's very polite, or but yes, it is polite, but it's very short. And they give us an example. There was a time when summer vacation meant endless lazy days sitting on the porch and watching the bees pollinate the flowers. Very, very brief story. Kind of sets a scene, sets a mood, sets a tone for the paper. All right. Number 2, introduce, and the word you're going to fill in is issue. You're going to briefly explain the issue and any controversy surrounding the argument. Give background information, but do not state your position yet. So you've caught the reader's attention now with your hook. Now you're introducing the issue, and they give us an example. Much to the public's dismay, summer vacations are in jeopardy in some areas. In many school districts, administrators are pushing forward with a movement to extend the school year. It's telling us what the issue is. but it does not yet tell us which side our writer is on. Just lets us know that there is going to be some type of controversy, some type of back and forth conversation, a good discussion, a disagreement. And then number 3, there are 2 blanks to fill in. The first one, state your claim. Claim is that first box, and the second box is thesis. This is the thesis statement. Spelling is on the board or on your screen. And this is a promise to the reader that the essay will address the argument and prove the claim. This is a promise to the reader that the essay will address the argument and prove the claim. So remember, if we look back at what a claim is, our claim, it tells us right here, is an individual's conclusion about a text, topic, event, or idea. It's going to let us know which side you stand on. It may help to use one of the following key words to form the thesis: reasons, benefits, advantages, or disadvantages. Now give me just a second to see how much further we have. All right, we're gonna get partway through this page. So body paragraphs 1 and 2. These support so the first box, you're gonna fill in the number 1 and 2. These support the thesis statement or claim. They explain the reasons people should consider your position to the argument. So box number 1, the blank you fill in is topic sentence. Start with a topic sentence that introduces a reason people would be convinced by the argument. So they give us an example. And so remember, this is not your introduction. This is body paragraphs 1 and 2. If students attended school year-round, they would improve academically and avoid summer slide. Then the next thing you're going to do is give us evidence. So box number 2 is evidence. And when you do evidence, this includes specific evidence to support the topic sentence. Use logic, data, and facts. For example, a district in Arizona saw reading scores go up more than 50% after extending the school year by 20 days. So they have gone in and found this example, this evidence, and they've stated it in their paper. And then this is the part that students find a little bit difficult and get a little bit confused on. So your box number 3, the word you're going to fill in is bridge. You're going to explain with a bridge. And this means that you're going to follow each piece of evidence with an explanation about how the evidence connects and supports to the claim. In the example they give us, this significant increase proves that students benefit by spending more time in school. And then your next box, you're going to support the topic sentence. You'll provide more evidence and another bridge. So at least one more piece of evidence and the bridge connects all evidence to the claim in the topic sentence. And then you're going to give us a concluding sentence. So box number 4 is concluding. And it's to conclude the paragraph by rephrasing the topic sentence. An example, it is possible to improve test scores by requiring more days in school. The second body paragraph should be formatted like the first one with another reason to support the claim. So you're going to have another paragraph that looks exactly the same, only you'll have 2 more different reasons, different pieces of evidence, and 2 more bridges that support your claim. And some of those text reference and transition words and phrases that you can use would be first, For example, furthermore, therefore, also, above all, additionally, consequently, finally, particularly, according to, and for instance. All right, students, we're going to stop there for today. So if you guys will give me just a second. All right, students, I wanted to give you a couple examples of argumentative writing. And so these kind of go back with the notes that we filled in that talks about why argumentative writing is important. So here's just a little fun thing about audience. If you want to take some notes on this, you can, but know that it is not required. It is not a spot that you have to fill in on your sheet in front of you, but this is just to further enhance and help you understand. So we talked about audience and knowing the audience and who's affected by the argument or issue, who will read the essay. So here we get an example of the kid who wants to go to the party and his strict mom who likes to tell him no. And so we're going to follow him for just a minute. So an argument, he is going to make the argument to go to the party and mom is making the argument as to why not. So in an argument, you clearly state your claim. Again, we've already gone over this in our notes. In an argument, you clearly state the claim in the thesis statement and support it using solid reasons and evidence. So we see him do this. Thesis from the little boy. Dear Mom, I should be permitted to stay out late to attend the party for several reasons. And Mom is being typical. I can't wait to hear this. So persuasive writing differs from argumentative writing because persuasive writing also involves making a claim. However, the supporting details are based on feelings and emotions, to where an argumentative writing is based on fact. So all my friends will be going and I'll be mad if I can't go. He's trying to persuade her. And then Mom, you guys know this, Mom, poor thing. You'll be mad. In that case, too bad, so sad, bucko. Like, you're right, I don't care if you'll be mad, you can be mad. And so he goes on. This kid really wants to go to the party, so he goes on to prepare his argument. And so his first reason is that he's responsible. Like most of you guys, I'm a responsible kid. And so this gives us a little bit of an idea of how a paragraph would look. We've got our evidence, which is it's logic, data, and facts that support the thesis. So our thesis is that he should be permitted to stay out late to attend the party for several reasons. This is also his claim. He should be able to stay out late, and there's several reasons. And here's reason number one: I'm a responsible kid. And then remember, when we give a reason, we have to give evidence to back it up. So based on 13 years of data, I've been responsible 95% of the time. I feed the dog twice a day, and I regularly babysit for the brats. Oops, that doesn't sound so great. He remembered his audience. So I regularly babysit for the kids next door. And so here's the bridge. Remember, the bridge connects the evidence back to the claim. So you're bridging that gap. You're connecting your evidence back to your claim. So he's got it stated. I'm a responsible kid. Based on 13 years of data, I have been responsible 95% of the time. I feed the dog twice a day, and I regularly babysit for the kids next door. And so the mom's like, so what's the point? So he's got to explain that. He's got to connect it. And so this is kind of a visual of that bridge. You explain how the evidence connects to and supports the thesis. And so he states, the responsible choices I've made in the past prove that I deserve the extra privilege of staying out late. So this is his bridge. Remember, if we're going to go in number order to kind of help you walk through your notes, you've got your thesis or your claim, and he states his thesis or his claim is I should be permitted to stay out late to attend the party for several reasons. Reason one, So this is number 2, reason. I'm a responsible kid. Here's his evidence. Based on 13 years of data, I've been responsible 95% of the time. I fed the dog twice a day, and I regularly babysit for the kids next door. Now he needs to connect these 2 sides of the bridge that we see. And he does that by stating the responsible choices I've made in the past prove that I deserve the extra privilege of staying out late. He connected these 2, and he showed how it supports the thesis. All right, so we'll jump into counter argument and counterclaim tomorrow. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a visual of what it is that, that we've been talking about. Please let your teacher know if you have any questions. We're here to help. Have a good day, and we will talk to you tomorrow.